Hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's episode and chapter of Bound by Night. Daniel,
Damn indeed.
medicine and
Wait, what?
intelligence, please.
Okay. This is not what I thought we were starting with. Okay, hang on. E. Okay, what's my dice pool? Oh, this music is awfully intense. Oh, God. Let me see. Medicine and intelligence. Da, 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 da. Okay, cool. That is the right dice pool. That is a total of 6 successes.
Okay, sliding on the ground because of how slick it is with his blood. You kneel next to Alpha. He tries to weakly push you away. You tell him to shut up with a hard cut of your hand, moving his limbs out of the way, rearranging him in a way that you can pack the wound and start sewing it. And you do expertly. End over end. You also in your pack, which you usually always have on you, especially now that you know how the Garu work, protein bar. You say, "Shut up, big guy," and you shove it in his mouth. And kind of like that meme of the hissing cat that gets a finger put in its mouth, it's a... And then he begins to chew.
Growling at me as you choose.
His...
Yeah, growl at me all you want, you gruffy bastard. Just chew.
You barely get to the bottom of the first claw mark and start on the second. I mean, he's just been eviscerated, and you're stuffing pieces in, and you're watching the power of the Garu. There's this faint glow all around him as the spiritual energy of his wolf, his glabro form, starts to knit it all back together. You worry, though, with the 6, Daniel, that had you not been here at precisely this right time, he might have died. His death would not have been painful, because he would have gone to sleep far before his lungs and his heart gave out. All you have on you, though, is that one bar. You are technically in the middle of town. There's a few shops that are closed near you. There's a couple homes. He would heal faster with more food, you know. Despite that, looking down each way of the lane, the one drive road, there is hardly any evidence of the rest of the group you're after. There's, on the street, every single trash can has been upturned and spilled onto the street, which is odd, yes, but not necessarily any delineation of freak accidents, unless there's just a rogue riot of raccoons just banditing and breaking into trash cans en masse around the city. Alpha finally finishes. And he starts to shift again. Fur breaking out underneath human flesh, ears pointed forward. From his hair, eyes glowing a wicked deep blue. What do you do, Daniel, if anything?
So it's too late in the night for there to be a shop nearby that's open?
It is not open, but it is nearby.
Shit. Okay. He already knows that there's risks coming with this. He's gonna... He's gonna make move to the nearest shop. Can I roll an investigation to see what would be the fastest way in without... Well, the fastest way in and with the least opportunity of being spotted by, say, cameras and such, or a security system.
Go ahead and roll an intelligence and larceny.
Larceny?
Too bad your
Oh,
larceny
Behind
boy
you,
isn't there right now.
as you're turning, as you're looking, as you're taking it in, you hear Alpha try to get up and he falls again. There is something about Magnus's claw. It's just more than the other Garu. More intense, more damaging, more lingering.
okay, let me see. Intelligence and larceny. I don't have larceny. Given the nature of the situation, though, can I attempt to rouse check the blood surge?
You certainly can.
Okay. That's a decent roll. Okay. That is 1 success and 1 critical for 5.
Okay. Looks like a side entrance. From what you can see in the dark, no cameras, and if there are, you have a baseball cap down. You can pop your collar. You just have to bust in, grab, bust out.
Oh, did I find my baseball cap last session, DM? Because I lost that
Oh,
when the guard raged in my house.
you.
I don't have my baseball cap. I don't have
Oh.
a shirt either.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I only have pants.
Oh. Yeah.
So if there's a camera there, I'm taking it out.
Fair enough. To use your physicality to take out camera and break through the side door. I will have you roll an athletics, and because you are just using your fists, strength.
Said athletics and strength.
Yep.
Okay. The strength athletics. Okay.
Because this is not a roll you're able to re-roll because of the time-sensitive everything that's happening, I would like you to roll it on roll 20. And you cannot use a willpower to re-roll.
Okay. Can I blood surge again then?
Your blood is still surged. You may use the extra dice.
Okie dokie then. Oh, that's a 9 successes, but it's a messy critical.
Okay. Destroying the camera. It's a small scale explosion in your palm. The door, you rip it off the hinges. Not just the lock is broken, the entire door is gone.
Okay. Once I head inside, I'm assuming it's like pitch black in here
Correct.
within the shop. So, according to heightened senses that I have, I'm able to see in pitch darkness.
Okay. There is like a very, very faint ambient glow. You rush forward, eyes glow red. The snack aisle is meager. Most of it is health food. There's like open bar, scoop your own almonds, your own walnuts, your own peanuts, and then take it to the back grinder and make your own organic butter. There's chocolate that's dark, 90% coca, ethically sourced. It's just a lot of organic foods. In the very far back on the left corner, where a lot of the ambient glow is, there's a freezer, and inside is home-caught fish. Trout, cod, swordfish, there's lobster, all packaged here.
I would like to go for the fish.
Okay. As you step forward, there is another camera.
Which, is it pointing towards me or away from me as I'm approaching?
It is pointing towards all of that fine, freshly caught fish. All of those maritime delectables.
I'm taking out that camera too as I move forward.
Okay. This will be your last athletics and strength check in the scene. Go ahead and roll on roll 20. You cannot use a willpower.
Once again, 9 successes.
Okay. You
Oh,
take
wait,
out.
never mind. Sorry.
Oh.
Sorry, I saw the dice roll. It was only 3. Wow. Out of all those dice. Jesus Christ. I saw not. Wow, that is wow. Roll 20 did not be nice to me on that one.
Okay, with a 3. You are less messy. There's no small scale explosion. You simply unplug the camera with a 3. Just no breaking. Boop.
Wow. Okay. Once I make it to the fish, I'm gonna grab as much as Daniel can carry with his 4 dots
It
of
is
strength.
cold against your bare chest. You sweep it, shoving what you can of the packaging kind of in your pants to sort of make this V against your body with this huge piece of swordfish. And you're just piling it in and precariously rushing outside with it. As you get there, Alpha is half shifted, partially wolf, partially man, but not Krynos. His eyes and his nose flare, his head whipping towards you like a great beast. He knows what you have. He can smell it through the packaging. And as you begin to peel it open and sort of toss it to him, he catches it out of the air. A lot of it is just eye-mouth coordination, like an animal. He devours. And like a miracle, he begins to heal, his body regenerating. But you have a feeling, Daniel, that something sinister is about to take place. And we meanwhile here. Jihoon, I need you to roll a dexterity and survival.
Oh god, okay.
And because this is sensitive, you must roll it on roll 20, and you cannot use a willpower. But should you choose, you can rouse the blood.
Trying to roll, and it's not letting me. Dexterity and what, though?
Survival.
Survival. Thank you. Let's be real. He wouldn't even know to rouse the blood. But he did he not get that extra speed thing?
From Dell?
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay, does that change anything? No?
It does give you, let's see, Dell, I think a 2 dot circumstance bonus. So you get 2 extra dice.
Okay. So would I add that in here as well?
Yes.
Like, how does that work? Okay, so this is, we said dexterity and survival. So we get survival, and then okay, dexterity. And then I submit, right? But how would I add 2 extra die to that?
Let's see.
Once you submit it, it'll ask you if you want to add a pool modifier.
Full size modifier, and
Yep.
then you do +2?
Yep. In your case, it's
Okay,
plus
got it.
3.
+3, yes, because of the other. Okay, got you.
Mm-hmm.
Because of the thing on the back?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Got it. Difficulty? Leave it as is?
Leave it as is.
Okay, got it.
Oh my god.
2 successes?
2 successes?
Yeah.
Okay. You hear the crunch of bone, which is not an uncommon sound in the city of Mass. Dell makes this strangled and is shot ahead of you, some several feet, wrapping around a tree, only for him to straighten and pop his neck. And you see that his shoulder is at an awkward angle, and he quickly smashes it, pulls it down, and it doesn't feel really good. Run faster! God, you're slow as fuck! And he steps down, ruffling his red hair. His nose is bleeding, and he wipes it with his hand. And Magnus, like a bulldozer, doesn't stop. He gets down on all fours, almost like the Wolverine, and pulls himself forward. And he's making this sound, this heady. You can almost feel the heat from here. And Delta shoots forward, smashing into him, colliding against him like a wave of water. With your 2, you cut around this narrow hiking trail, and before you can see the sign in the distance that you know that is the Northwood. You just have to pass that sign. You have only maybe 10, 20 yards max. It's right fucking there, Jihoon. It's right there. And your feet are hitting the concrete. Actually, I guess they're smacking the dirt because you're on a little hiking trail that's like next to the sidewalk. There rises up like a fence line over to your right and some pretty pristine apartment buildings. If Malcolm was here, Malcolm might recognize those. But regardless, Jihoon, 2 is not enough. All you can hear is the sound of your breath sawing in and out, even though it is ineffective and does nothing to increase your pace. The blood in you is roused because of the fear and the excitement. There's something else here. Something to be examined. Something that you don't understand. Some kind of fascination that you want to understand because of this emotional reaction in you that causes your muscles to twitch in such a way and your face to tingle and your heart. Your heart has not hammered against your ribcage like this in this kind of way ever. There has never been excitement like this in your life, and there's danger. But there's something else. A possibility lingering underneath the chase. A freedom. A primal, instinctual want. And you aren't sure what this want means. Who is this want for? And as you process, your feet get caught up in some gnarled roots and unseen fence that has yet to be put up. Some commercial construction worker's fault, and you trip and slide. Your knee tears. Your face crashes against the hard graveled earth. Your glasses go flying. The world descends into a slight blur, but your vision is still good enough to see even without your glasses. As you reach for them, a pair of boots come into view, and the red head is dropped unconscious. One step at a time, he approaches, and the sound that he is making. Leather-clad legs fall to their knees before you. And you look up. And as you look up, Jihoon, out of nowhere, a white shadow explodes into your field of view. All wolf, all growls and teeth, as Zeta grips Magnus's throat, pulling him away from you, dropping him to the ground on a horrible screech. What do? It does not look like Zeta is playing. It looks like she means blood. Her maw on his throat. He's gargling behind the mask that is covering the lower half of his face. And you retain and regather yourself enough to stand.
He tries to find his glasses and will stumble trying to move to that end goal, that sign he can see. He has to get there. But he's still so damn curious.
Okay. One last dexterity and survival. Because you are injured, your compulsion is active at this moment, and technically you would be terror frenzying because of mechanics that are not quite known yet by the coterie. You're rolling this without Delta's bonuses. So you are quite hindered.
Well, we're fucked, guys. All right. Survival and dexterity, you said, right?
Yes. What'd you get?
No pool size modifier. Yeah. 0 successes because I only had 2 dice.
Okay. With 0 successes, you try to step forward. You drop down to the ground. Your leg completely shattered where you landed. You hit the knee at just the right angle that, like a shattering piece of glass, the patella and all of, very likely what it feels like to you in your big brain, all of the connecting tissues have ruptured. And so you begin to crawl, Jihoon. And you hear the scuffle, and you can kind of see it out of the corner of your eye. Zeta shifts into human form with only tails and ears. She doesn't really have a whole lot on, but that's neither here nor there. You're not really looking, but at the same time, you're kind of freaking out, kind of panicking, but kind of not panicking. Oh my God, your boss is bleeding from the throat. It's just all down. It's just torrential. You see him reach up and rip the buttons of his rider jacket off so that he is just in maybe a tank top, which he rips off as well, mopping up the blood. There is no mark. There's no bite mark. Just a stain of red. And Zeta speaks in this lyrical language, and then she shifts to English as he goes forward, and she says, "Stop it. Stop it. He is not yours. He is not your mate. You cannot do this." And Magnus says, "You cannot stop me. Know your right." And she whines, and she shifts. "Please, I don't want to hurt you. You think you could hurt me? Kneel." And the power behind his words drives her to her knees, and he squats and says, "Now beg." And she, "I'm so sorry." And she begins to howl.
Jihoon. Jihoon would kind of get into that like crab position. You know when you like flip over and you are like gonna crawl backwards? Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And still face them, but he's not moving.
On
and
your
he
butt?
just yes. And it's just like, just stop it! Please just stop it!
Magnus's face comes whipping over, and in the thin slash of visibility, his bicolored eyes are a screaming storm. All around you, the wind has kicked up, the lightning flashes, and it dances over his exposed chest like a caress. This creature is a force of nature.
Magnus, sir, what are you doing? You're not like this. This isn't you!
As he slowly straightens, uncoiling his powerful body, he steps forward. There are no indicators that he is any logic. There is just desire and appetite. And as he approaches you, he gets down on all fours and pulls himself forward, much like the Wolverine again. And then he slams into you, flipping you around and pushing you face down into some nearby patch of grass. And you hear Zeta howl, and overhead, the thunder claps and the lightning strikes. It is overwhelming, to say the least. No, it is more than overwhelming, Jihoon. It is raw, undeniable panic. He shreds your jacket. Your shirt that he gave you, all of it like it's nothing, exposing your chest to the cold elements. Rain begins pelting your side. Your hair starts to get plastered to your face, and you feel the leather hand grip the back of your head. When you try to move, when you cry, when you gnash your teeth, it is painful. When his fangs sink into the back of your neck, and some violation, and you begin to cry. And once it is done, and he pulls back and he flips you onto your back, and he's got most of his face exposed. There's a moment. He pauses. What do you do?
God, this is triggering a lot of things in terms of like Jihoon's past. He's gonna. Does he have? Are his hands free?
Yes.
Oh yeah, he's gonna have like a. He's trying to fight him off as best as he can, kind of whacking his arms at him,
Okay. Roll a
trying to
strength.
push him off.
Roll a strength and athletics.
In roll 20.
Yes. No. You can just roll it by hand. This is something you can use willpower on if you'd like.
No more Delta power, yeah?
Correct.
Okay. That's no successes. Again.
Okay.
This is anything athletics, let's be real. But he's just screaming. He's just screaming and pounding into him. Get off of me. Please get off of me.
To paint the scene, this may be triggering to anyone who has experienced any kind of assault. Listener aggression or discretion is advised. His hips have made room for themselves between yours, and the way that his knee is pinning your thigh up is enough that your knee that's been ruptured and destroyed is just screaming in constant agony. And you're not sure that he's aware that you're broken. If he is, the fact that he is leaning on that leg and pressing the cradle of his pelvis into yours is so frightening. He's so large. He is so powerful. Your strikes do nothing as he leans against you, and his arms wrap around your waist that is bare, and his skin touches you. His fingertips caress you, Jihoon, in a way lovers would.
This isn't what I wanted.
And all at once, he lets you go, and careening in a streak of red, smashing into him, taking him through tree after tree after tree after tree, is Noah screaming. Noah?
Yep.
I would
I'm
like
not gonna scream into my mic.
I would
but
like
yes.
you to roll a strength and brawl.
Okay. Strength and brawl. Do you want it rolled in roll 20?
Yes, you can only roll this once.
Okay. So I'm doing a brawl and strength. Oh, that's right. I do it this way. Strength. That's an 8.
Okay. Magnus is obviously so distracted. You land a critical strike on the face. You feel his jaw break, one of his teeth go flying. And then you come around with a scream clawing at his chest, tearing open the already massive scar there. Your flurry of frenzy only finishes when he catches both of your fists. One. And he says, "Enough," through a broken jaw. And then you watch in horror as he shifts and the jaw rehinges and rights itself immediately.
Yeah, that's fair.
Your turn. What do you do?
Okay, he's got a hold of my fists.
But his
I'm
face
gonna
is real
headbutt him.
close to yours, okay?
I was about to say, I'm gonna headbutt him.
Okay, roll another strength and brawl. You can rouse the bullet if you would like. If you do, because you are under a forced spiritual blessing, you can add 3 extra dice circumstance.
Okay. Hold on. Yes. As well as feats of strength. Okay. Just also wanted to activate prowess.
You can do that if you have to rouse.
Yeah. So, can I roll just a rouse check in here? I guess I can just do this. That is a failure, so I do get a little bit hungry. Okay, so you said a 3 dice circumstance bonus?
Yes.
Okay, so we're brawling. Let me click the brawl. So, brawl, strength,
Pretty sure that song was made.
and then 3. And with the prowess, that is. Okay. That is a 12.
Like 14, I think.
Okay. With a 12, and him still being distracted, you beat him, and you smash his nose almost clean off of his face, and he lets go of your fist.
Okay, now that he's let go, his goal was just to get him off. Hopefully, I mean, I'd like to pick up both people if I can and run.
Okay. As you, so you're gonna run back because you went through several.
Right.
You are many yards away from what happened. Okay. As you rush back, where meanwhile we cut back to Jihoon. Jihoon,
Yeah.
you are embarrassingly in a state of near complete unclothed. For the sake of live streaming and any of our viewers and anyone who is sensitive to that type of thing, your zipper, your button, torn, part of your backside slightly exposed. Like, it is awful. And before you really have a chance to gather yourself, the redhead comes staggering to you. Left hand completely obliterated, fingers twisted at odd angles, elbow so swollen, distended. And this guy, Dell, kneels down and gathers you into their only working arm. And then on the other side, Zeta, even in her state of mostly undress, brings your ruined clothes, your shirt, your jacket, and drape them around your delicate arms, your shoulders. And then a familiar voice from somewhere indistinct until he makes an appearance. a worried set of green eyes. His face is swollen, looks like he's had a night. His hair is wild and completely unkempt, just curled all around his face.
Don't worry, Jihan. Everything's gonna be okay.
Sigma lifts you.
Looks like your leg is pretty fucked up, so we're gonna need to get out of here real quick.
In that lyrical language, Zeta says, and you understand, Jihoon, I'm sorry I tried to keep him at bay. I just can't. And Del, in the lyrical language, says, don't worry about it. He's a cut and a half, and none of us can resist his dominance. Fuck, I think everything is broken, including my dick. You know what? If you could just not take my job in the whole pack, that'd be great. Oh, I forgot. You have small man syndrome. Just shut up with your slick mouth, okay? This guy, Jihoon, is wounded, and we gotta take care of him. And you're just the person to do that. Okay, look at your face. I am. I'm the most functional right now. Anyways, Jihoon, ignore them. I'm gonna take care of you, okay? Come on.
Jihoon doesn't say anything, but he tucks his head in. And he's completely silent.
Careening from the other side. Past the Northwood entrance, headed towards you, is a red streaking blur. As Noah appears in a moment's notice.
Can I stop? In a timely manner.
You know what? You do have to roll for it, so I'd like you to roll a dexterity and athletics.
4? Question mark?
You do take out a couple trees, but you do stop.
I'd rather take
And you're
out
like,
trees
fuck
than
it.
accidentally run into my friends.
Yeah, you take out 2 trees. You manage to rush up to them.
Oh, okay. Where are we going?
Sigma starts running.
I run
Jihoon.
after him then. I turn to the other two. Wait, do you need any help? I can carry someone. Who are you?
The redhead. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
The redhead drapes himself on you.
Okay, I don't know who you are, but you help, so, I got you. You coming, Zeta?
She nods.
Alright. I'm gonna try and control my run so that I am keeping up with Sigma and not running past him, because I don't know where we're going.
Okay. Dexterity and survival.
Okay. Oh no, that's a 0! Can I use a willpower
On this roll, yes.
on that?
Mhm.
Okay. Whew. God damn. Oh shit. Okay, that's much better. Totally worth it. That's a 4 instead of nothing.
Okay, with a 4, you manage not
Get him.
to
Get him,
destroy
Brown.
anything else.
Okay, okay.
Sigma does not stop until he gets back to Daniel's.
Property.
Yeah, we'll put it that way.
Station.
And when he spins around in a circle and Daniel's not here, he's like,
Well, I don't fucking know how to set his leg.
and that's where we're gonna meanwhile. Because now the wolves are like, we don't know where Daniel is.
I know how to fix him. I'm gonna take him to the other guy.
We got
And then-
3 wolves and a redhead. We don't know.
And then we, meanwhile, over to Daniel, and him and Alpha are headed to the Northwood, and they get there, And this car pulls up that they recognize, and Malcolm's sleeping in the front for some reason. And it smells like coffee. And there's no sign of anyone that was here. There's no coterie. There's just Daniel and Alpha and Evan and sleeping Malcolm.
Yeah, and Daniel whispers to Alpha, "You're too late."
You just hear the little burr of the window rolling down. Just Evan stares at you.
Alpha begins, he drops down to all fours, turns into his lupus form, and he starts smelling. And behind you, God, Evan.
Daniel just kind of looks at Evan with a tilt of his head, and he's just like, How did you even get that thing out onto the trails?"
There are apartment buildings not too far, so.
I didn't know.
I mean, it has 4 wheels, you know?
Nope. Oh, I see you brought coffee. Oh, good. That's nice.
Both of
Give
you
that to Jihoon.
need to leave.
Says Alpha.
You need to leave right now.
Fast?
Get out.
Okay.
The storm has not
Have it.
ended. And you can sense half a second before he does an entity exiting the trees.
Do I recognize the entity?
You did watch him almost completely cut Alpha in half.
Oh, good. Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. Need to clarify. Yeah, I don't want him recognizing me, so yeah. Yeah, Daniel moves real quick into the back seat, says, "However many gears this thing has, Evan, I need you to take it all the way."
Yeah, with what Alpha said, and as soon as he hears Daniel land in the back seat, he would just start going.
Okay. Roll a dexterity and drive. Please roll it in roll 20. You do not get to
All right.
willpower on this. Willpower on this.
Willpower? Stronger than willpower. We got willpower.
How do I add the both of them together in here?
Okay, so
you
you're
have to-
gonna click on drive first, and then dexterity. And then you'll hit submit when it gets to macro options after you click second attribute dexterity.
Do I add the one for
Yes.
tier modifier? Okay. Oh, no.
Okay.
No.
You get out before Magnus has a chance to really examine everyone inside the car, but he does clock the vehicle. And you see Alpha approach him and then kneel down slightly, almost in a bow of sorts, respectful. And then from there, we're going to take a very short meanwhile to check on players, and then we'll be right back. And we return, but we find ourselves across town at the Blackthorn building, where the Miss Blackthorn has just stepped into. You guys are in Kappa's suite,
Yes.
and Kappa was resting again, or
Yeah,
he's
I think
definitely
he'd
asleep.
gone to sleep. Yeah. Yeah.
okay. And so her call to you, Quinn, is no louder than a whisper.
Is there a light switch near the bed or just by the door?
There's a lamp switch by the bed.
Quinn turns it off real quick.
Hey, Why? You can hear her come forward, the door shutting behind her. She doesn't bother with the main light. And the two of you are in the dark together. Why are we...
Don't look at me, okay? Because I don't think I could see you look at me right now.
Oh, okay. And she stops moving forward. You hear her footfalls pause. I'm glad you're here. What do I say when there's so much unspoken and so much I want to say, but I don't know how to say it? What do I say when words just fail? Are you...
It's okay, Beta. I've had a lot of time to think on this, okay? And I never wanted you to have the way of doing this. So I just want you to know it's okay. It's okay. Whatever we had, you are no longer committed to that. It's okay. I know you know that things have changed. I think you've seen me. I think when I was asleep. So I guess you know. About all sorts of stuff, and she just kind of like tugs at her headband, and shifts in the chair. But I mean, I just want you to have to say, that I should go because I should go, and that's not on you, okay? Because I'm not who I was before, and everything you are is I found out a lot about what you are and who you are and what I am now and who you are. It's not it's not good, and that's not on you. So we can just end it here, and I'll just go. Cap is asleep. If you stay here and help him, and then I'll go, and that doesn't have to be anything that you have to do. Okay? So
But I also didn't
it's okay.
She winces in the dark. You know? And it's over?
I don't want you to have to make that choice. It's not fair because it wasn't anything that you chose. It just I found. I know that I know, like you're a warrior and you're a queen, and I am a monster and a peasant, and I don't want you to have to say no, go away, because I'll just do that for you and make it easier.
You're done. It's over. You're leaving?
I don't want to, Beta. It would be selfish for me to make you deal with everything that I am now, because what I am now is a negative of what I was before. And even when I was before, I didn't know if I was enough, but now I'm less than I was before, so I'm definitely not enough. You have so much you have to do, and I'm only gonna slow you down and make it worse, and I'm tainted by the worm. I know that. I've heard that several times. I know that. Plus, I'm not even like a right kind of monster. I'm not even right. I have like just tears off her headband. I have ears, and I have teeth, and my eyes aren't even in the same color anymore. And my hands are all like I don't mean there to be claws, but sometimes there's claws, and I can't control that. And you deserve better, more than me. More than me. So I'm not going to be selfish because you have so much that you have to do, and you have such a grand purpose. Purpose is good. I was supposed to think I was supposed to find one, and I haven't. And I'm not going to take yours. So, I don't want you to have to make a choice that's not I don't want you to have to say no and go away, okay? You don't have to.
Quinn, you're. And you hear her step forward, and that big at the same time lean frame steps up in the dark. Her boots just at the edge of your vision, looking down. She wears the same perfume, but you recognize that as just her natural scent. She smells like the summer, like a hot day in July, like fireworks and rivers. Your chest squeezes. Your one eye closes of its own volition. Quinn, you are going to miss this scent, and you breathe in as if you can hold it in your lungs just one time, just once more, and forever. When the soft fingertips touch your fisted hands on your lap, you jump and you startle. The lamp is on, and Beta is knelt before you. Her eyes as fathomless as the ocean. You're my only choice. You're the only choice I got to make. Her gaze roves over your expression. Her hands, large for a female, reach up, touch your headband, and then she tugs it gently, exposing your ears as they fdoing. That same hand moves down slowly to the eye patch. I don't know what Her gaze collides with yours. I don't know what tomorrow has in store. Especially now that you know I was going to tell you the truth eventually. I didn't want to scare you away. I didn't want to frighten you. She gets a soft smile. I only ever wanted to get closer to you. But I guess my nickname for you doesn't really... Can I touch your ears? Is that okay with you?
When staring back into Beta's eyes, just does a small nod, yes.
One hand has not left your clenched fist. The hand that has been very gently touching you before moves to your ears. Do they hurt under the headband?
Yeah, they're pretty sensitive. I gotta push the headband down pretty hard. I don't want it to come off.
Maybe I can teach you. And you hear this ruffling sound. And then two bicolored ears, one black, one white, stand at attention, straightening from the depths of her tresses. And they flick, hearing, sensing.
I didn't know that. I didn't. Yeah. Ears. They're very pretty.
So are you. Very pretty.
I, I don't. I don't know. I don't know. I'm dead. I don't know. Can a dead thing be pretty?
I know. And her eyes mist over. I know what you are. She closes her eyes. And twin streaks down her cheeks and off her chin. I'm sorry, I shouldn't even be touching you.
I'm sorry. I don't know. Didn't mean to happen. I don't know what happened. So much happened, and I couldn't talk to you. You were just there, and I came every night. And I just sat there, waited, and I couldn't talk to you. And I knew that like a word from you would maybe make it all better. It just kept getting worse. You were in a coma, and then this happened, and then I've just been alone, and everything got scarier every day. Everything I found out and everything I learned, and I just wish I could talk to you.
She suddenly pulls you against her chest and holds on to you, clinging.
Can I touch your ears?
Always. Always. I'm sorry I wasn't there. I'm sorry I couldn't protect you. I'm sorry that this happened to you. And I'm sorry that it's been scary.
Not your fault. I don't know whose fault it is, but it's not yours, okay?
When she
It's not yours.
When she shifts back, she grabs your shoulders. And you can feel where her finger rings, the ones at the first knuckle, kind of digging into your shoulders a little bit because she's squeezing so hard. Probably because she's on some kind of edge. There's so much in this moment that you're not quite picking up from her, but maybe you're sensing with your kindred capabilities. And she gives you a tiny shake and says, no, if it is anyone's fault, it is my fault. I should have told you. I should have stayed away from you. I don't... I have to take care of my family. I have to do that. It's my job. And I will do that. And but Quinn, you're the only choice I've ever made for myself. I chose you. I picked you. Not because I had to. Because I wanted to. And she moves her hands to your cheeks. Because these feelings that I have, I don't feel like myself unless I'm near you. It's as natural as breathing. It's as easy as taking a step for me. It's as simple as dancing a pirouette. I'm so sorry, Quinn.
No, okay, would you still choose me? Everything I am right now, everything I was, it's gone. It's gone. What I am now, whatever this is, and whatever going on, and however messed up I am, and nothing works the same anymore, and I don't even like think the same anymore. I don't want you to be stuck with a choice you made before.
She blinks. She kind of gets a little smile suddenly, and it's at odds with everything that you're feeling. And then she pulls you so that your forehead is against hers. I would choose you. In every iteration of existence. There is no me without you. I wish I had better words. All I have is the truth. Yes. Yes, Quinn. I would choose you as you are. But I don't deserve you. You say that I am a warrior and a queen, and I failed to protect you. I knew that you were mortal, just a librarian. And when I asked you to lunch, I didn't. God, you smiled. And you took my hand. And you fit just perfect under my chin. You are the way you are because I loved you. And I couldn't protect you. You are this way. And it's my fault. You feel so terribly because of me.
Beta, okay, wait, Beta, and she takes her hands and puts them on either side of Beta's face. And she goes, love me, and you chose me, and if I'm this way because you chose me, then I will be this way. Then this was meant to be because, that you chose me and you still choose me is the most. I would have this happen again 100 times if you love me and you chose me. I didn't know. No.
She takes your hand and kisses the palm quickly, just turning her face, breathing in, closing her eyes. Then she turns to the other hand and does the same, drinking in your touch, with her eyes closed and her head bowed. The shame that ripples through her is profound, and it smells like summer rain. She reaches over and turns the lamp off again, and in the dark, so close to you, she says, no, you should not forgive me so easily. All of this, what I'm assuming is all of you being changed because of me. And there's movement, like she's trying to speak and just shaking her head back and forth. And then she clings to you again, pulling you down to the floor in her lap, and she holds you. And she mutters, my sweet Quinn, my perfect, sweet, beautiful Quinn. And then there's movement from the bed. You hear a Kappa groan. What do you do?
I think she's there with Beta, and she knows she can't make it better, and she knows there's a lot that she doesn't know. But in the moment, she brings her mouth to Beta's ears and says, "I choose you. And we're in this together. Always."
As you make that declaration with your soft kiss, she, if it weren't so dark, would be gazing at you, tracking your expression, and you're not so sure she can't already do that in the dark. Kappa stills after a moment. And there's a relief. Her shoulders sag a bit when you say that you choose her. It's not going to be easy, Quinn. I declared war. And I didn't mean to. But I did. And I'm gonna fix it, okay? I'm gonna do whatever I can, and I'm gonna fix it. I'm gonna make everything better. I'm not gonna fail this time. Sada's back, and I'm gonna save her too. I'm gonna hunt the people that hurt her, that tortured her. And I'm gonna save Del. I'm not gonna let him take my sister. And I'm gonna keep you safe. And she cups her face again. I'm not gonna let anything happen to you, okay? I am going to do everything. I am going to... Quinn, you have to... And then she kisses you. Rough and hard and all at once.
Wynn meets the kiss and returns it with almost an unexpected ferociousness. And her ears, like, almost wiggle, and, like, her tail sprouts out, and her claws come out a little more.
She meets your ferocity with her own, and she pulls off her jacket so that you can get at more of her shoulders and her skin, and then she lifts you from sitting on the floor. She wraps your legs around her hips, and you both stand in one easy motion. She takes a moment to turn the light on, check on Kappa. It's just a brief pause, then she shuts the light off, and she marches you to the bathroom, where she shuts the door and you hear it lock.
Quinn activates her eyes of the beast, and she can see in the dark too.
She turns on the sink. And she steps forward, backing you up into the shower. And with your vision, you can see all the hard lines of her muscles. And as she grips the corners of her tank top and then pulls it up and over, the deep V that disappears into her levers. The both hard and soft of her body, feminine in the way and Amazon. And she begins to kiss you again. And you can tell through the kiss that even if this is as far as it goes, your hands on as much exposed skin as she's got will be enough for her. But there is an undeniable hunger. Should you wish to take this reunion further, but that is a player choice.
Quinn takes a second to listen if there is any movement in the outside room.
With your heightened senses, you can roll a wits and awareness.
Can roll it on here. Can I actually make roll 20 work? I think so. Nowhere. There. Okay. Uh, 2.
Doesn't sound like it.
Gwyn growls and just pushes herself full force at Beta.
Beta. Is my microphone on? Hello?
Yes.
Okay, good. Phew. I made a weird, in my headphones. It was weird. Okay. Beta meets you with a constrained force. And before it is hands and teeth and desperate moans and gasps. And when she gets your bottom half off, you see errantly. She's completely topless. She's still in her leathers, but they're popped open. No shoes on, no socks. She takes your undergarment and she tucks it into her back pocket. And she growls, "My trophy." And then she ducks her head, hooks one of your legs up over your shoulder, and you automatically rouse the blood. Make a rouse check for me, please.
Uh-oh. Oh, no.
Do you fail?
She's hungrier. Yeah.
Are you at 4 hunger?
Yeah.
I see 4 hunger dice on your last roll, Quinn. I think you're at 5.
Okay.
Oh, I thought you meant like from before. Yeah.
Okay, so you immediately frenzy.
Oh, no.
And she meets your frenzy,
Oh.
and she takes you regardless. As you ride the wave, clawing and biting and marking her, she moans, "Yes, I am yours and you are mine." And we're going to fade to black. You can go ahead and drop 3 hunger as you feed from Beta.
Oh, my God.
Okay. With that, we are going to, meanwhile, across the city to the rest of the coterie, really. I need Daniel and Evan. I need both of you to roll wits and awareness, please.
Can I use heightened senses?
You sure can.
Do you want to end roll 20 or actual dice?
Let's do roll 20, but you can use a willpower.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Okay. So total together you got 13.
Yep, with 2 criticals, if that matters at all.
After some driving, after some time, you do eventually, the two of you, for the sake of the scene, realize the coterie must be at Daniel's old home. But before then, Evan, where do you drive?
A question. Would he have spotted Magnus taking a look at the car?
Oh, probably yes, I would say. Yeah. I would say yeah.
I guess the immediate thing would be just the most direct path out of there. And then if they realize they aren't being followed, then kind of loop around in a roundabout way to get back. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, just trying to lose your tail.
Hmm.
You drive looping around, doubling back. You're fairly certain within the first 5 minutes of driving you don't have a tail. Maybe that's Alpha's fault. And it's you, unconscious Malcolm, holding his frozen drink, and Daniel. Any roleplay?
Hey, does coffee do that to you too? He kind of glances up in the rearview mirror and points over at Malcolm being passed out.
What, make you fall asleep? I don't know. I don't think I was even alive when coffee was invented. Honestly, couldn't tell you.
Certainly not when treat and frozen coffee was invented, but you had
Like
yourself
black coffee?
Yeah, a nice solid black, couple sugar cubes, maybe some actual cream off the farm, you know. Experienced it.
So I know that caffeine makes you jittery and hyper, not honked out in the seat.
Correct. Yeah, you don't know Starbooks or whatever it's called. Starfish, whatever the kids are drinking nowadays with their avocado toast.
Well,
But
I know everyone uses coffee to, wake up in the morning. I don't think it's supposed to make you knock out, even for Kindred.
besides the point, I'm just distracting myself. What happened back there?
When you ask that question, Daniel kind of looks down at his bloody everything, actually. His chest is covered in blood, his hands are covered in blood, his pants are probably covered in blood.
Would he like lift his hands like as he looks at them to catch like lights coming through the windows as we're driving?
I would say yeah. A lot.
Fuck.
From what I understood and from what Alpha told me, Ji-hoon was being hunted down by Magnus. Me and him tried to intervene. I might be athletic, but running across town without the right abilities is... well, I can't keep up with a Garu, no matter how fast I am. By the time I made it up to Alpha, well, he was in bad shape. And I don't know what happened to Ji-hoon.
Did you see anyone else?
Didn't have time to see anyone else, unfortunately. I only had the time to make sure that Alpha didn't bleed out in the grass. If you saw what he looked like, well, let's just say I was surprised he was even breathing by the time I got there. But somehow, some way, kept him alive. I had to bust into a convenience store to get the food he needed, so... don't know if I managed to avoid a masquerade breach, but only time will tell.
Do we need to stop and get you something? Like, do you have extra clothes or something stashed?
You know? And all the time I've been in town, making plans, contingencies, backup plans, somehow didn't think to make a backup haven somewhere. Everything that I've got is under a pile of rubble.
I guess we could try my place real quick, or I haven't been there since that thing and Sigma taking care of it.
We can try. I mean, who's to say it doesn't just decide to make a reappearance once we get back there? I doubt every single piece of clothing got destroyed along with my house. Besides, I don't know how much time we have left tonight, but I don't think it's best to leave the stuff I have in that house and the fact that a cop's going to be visiting regularly, so literally tomorrow. There's a couple of things in there that would absolutely be illegal to any local authority. So I'd say the faster we can get back there and move it, so that way, Sigma and Malcolm and Quinn don't end up getting warrants put on their head.
A question for you, Daniel, just so I could be sure. Are you wearing a head covering right now? Or are you...
Nope. No hat. No hat, no shirt, no shoes, only pants. So, if I think you're going where I think you're going, yes, you can see his third eye on his forehead.
I think maybe we should stop first, just in case. Would Evan know if there would be time kind of to stop on the way, or would it be like way out of the way to do that, DM?
I mean, it feels like there's time. It feels like there's... I mean... You saw Magnus didn't have Jihoon. But if you have a phone, it might be worth reaching out. It also could be that something horrible happened, and you're too late.
If you think a detour is best, I'm not gonna stop you. You've got the wheel. Just try not to send our sleeping prince through the windshield.
When you say that, you see Evan just reach over, like pull the shoulder belt all the way out so it locks, and just let it slowly back in, so it just kind of holds him there.
I guess a little chuckle out of Daniel as he's staring out the back seat window.
Yeah, let's stop and get some stuff for you. Let me focus on driving here. And he like just flips his phone back to you. You look like you don't have yours. If you want to try and reach somebody, well, I keep an eye out in case.
Daniel will double check that he has it, because in the chaos he didn't think to check. But his phone was in his pants, so it didn't get burnt by the fire when he shot himself. Is it still in his pant pocket, DM?
Yes, she says it's yes.
Okay. And okay, you see Daniel take his hands into his pant pockets, and luckily I didn't lose this. You can keep that one. I somehow managed to keep a hold of mine.
All right.
Also in chat, Evan, she says yes, you can get to Evans. Alright, well, I think we wait for the DM because I'm gonna try to I'm gonna try to call Noah first.
She
'Cause he's
said
the
we
only
can go
one.
ahead and keep RPing.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, if you're calling me, that's okay because it's me. We could still play.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to call Noah. Fucking
I think I have my phone. It depends on whether or not it came out of my pocket in the madness that was me flipping all garbage cans in town and stuff. But I should have it.
It is broken, but yes, you do have it. It is busted.
Oh no, it's broken. That's the worst ever. Cries.
Oh,
Not even your
no.
phone. It's still Jihoon's extra,
Well,
isn't it? Oh
listen.
God, again.
Listen, I don't think that phone was made to be handled to go at Mach 5. I'm sorry.
All right, well, you try to call me, but it goes straight to voicemail. Sorry, man.
Son of a bitch.
I don't know. He can
Okay.
call you. Just your screen is like shattered and stuff.
Oh,
So like
so it's, like,
answering
broken, but
sucks.
usable broken?
Yeah, I mean you can't text, you can't hang up once you answer. So
Oh.
yeah.
Pfft.
But he can hang up, right?
Yeah, my phone's not damaged in any way.
Well, it just means that my phone will hang up when you hang up. So,
Oh, good.
okay. I will attempt to answer the super broken phone. Pulls it out of his pocket. He's like, oh, fuck. Tries to put, hello?
Does it sound like, does this voice sound like hella
pretty-
garbled
It's
on
pretty
my end?
crinkly. It just sounds like too much
Hello?
wrapping paper.
No, you sound like you're trying to talk through a popcorn bag.
I'm trying to talk through a pretty broken phone. It's pretty fucked. Jihoon's gonna be so mad when he finds out. I mean, maybe not. Anyway.
Speaking of Ji-yoon, have you seen him? Me and Alpha tried to get to him at the Northwood, but by the time we got there, no one was there.
I mean, we got him, but there's definitely some damage done already.
Physical or...
All of the above.
Son of a bitch.
Oh, we're
Okay.
at your place.
Oh, good. Oh, what's left of it? Okay, then, who all's with you?
Oh, it's me, Jihoon, Sigma, Zeta, and this fucking redhead I don't know. He's got a nice haircut, though. Some sweet tats, too. But you don't need to know that. Anyway.
Okay. I guess, well, it might be a little while before I get there. Right now I'm in the back of Evan's car on the other side of town. I guess if Ji-hoon's hurt, and, well, I don't know if the fridge survived the entire debacle. If there's some blood bags somehow, unruptured out in the rubble, can let him have it if he needs it. Try and speed up at least a little bit of the healing process.
Right. Yeah, I'll see if I can find anything.
And while everyone's there, would you mind letting Sigma know that if they're already going to be waiting for me, if they wouldn't mind, well, taking all of the guns and stuff and weapons that I had out of there, because last thing Sigma and Malcolm need is a police warrant out on their head for illegally acquired firearms.
Great. Yeah, we'll see what we can find.
Okay, cool. I'll get there as soon as we can.
What do you want me to do with said armory?
Just
What do you want us to do with it?
compile it for now, really. I don't think there's really a way of getting it out of there in a car. Not anymore, anyway. Until we get there. Just compile it
Okay.
in one area so it's not scattered, and double check
Okay,
Look.
I'll try, but yeah, I don't know.
I'm not. You just do your best. I'm not expecting you to be perfect.
I might get distracted, but I'll try.
That's all I can really ask. Thanks. And he will hang up.
Any good news?
Well, they're all back at my house, or what's left of it. So, at least have a direction in mind once we stop by your place.
Yeah,
Ji-Hoon's.
it'll be quick, by the way. I'm just gonna grab you some clothes and stuff.
Sounds good. Ji-Hoon, he's in bad shape. In more ways than one.
You just see Evan's shoulders kind of sink with the severity of how you say that.
Yeah, the way Daniel looks in that back seat, the way his eyes are just very narrowed over and dark. If you would like, you can make some kind of insight check, whether wits or intelligence.
I got a 2 on that.
That is okay. Daniel is not a very manipulative, or as far as Kindred go, he's not a very he doesn't hide a lot of things when it comes to emotion. So when you kind of look at him through the rearview mirror and the way he kind of stares out into the street as the car drives by each apartment building or whatever else may be, the way his eyes look and that deep sharpness behind them, you think there is very deep guilt behind his eyes. Do you think it comes from a place of, well, he's the oldest among this entire coterie. He's supposed to be, even though he hates Kindred society with every fiber of his being, it comes down to him to ensure Ji-Hoon can survive and understand the world that he's been forced into. And in a way, by not keeping him safe tonight, he can't help but feel he failed. And with a 3, you think that failure is not only tied to what happened to Ji-Hoon, but there's a deeper and darker scar that this particular failure seems to itch and claw at.
Gain a stain, Daniel.
You kind of see him like go to almost draw in a breath to speak, and then he stops himself, and there's just an understated look on his face.
And I think that's where he would stop talking if Evan has nothing else to say.
And I assume at this point, like, we'd be pulling up and parking.
Your trash can is flipped over.
Is it like messily flipped over? Like,
yeah, the contents are spilled down your driveway. Ligma is sitting at your front door. When she sees your car, she straightens and yawns.
oh. You aren't allergic to cats by any chance, are you?
Can't say I ever have been, though cats might be allergic to me.
Okay. Also, he kind of points to his forehead. Beanie or ball cap?
kind of tilts his head at you for a second, and then he sees himself in the rearview mirror, and his eyes just go wide, as if remembering what he is. Ball cap.
All right, you got it. Evan just kind of ignores the trash and like kind of jogs up and runs inside real quick and just like grabs a random sports team ball cap, like one of the however many he might have. He'll try and grab like a plain tee and then probably some sweatpants. Something that could be adjusted and worn by Daniel. He'll come back out quickly, scoop up Ligma, and then just jog back to the car.
Okay.
And he'll like pass, or he'll open the door opposite where Daniel's sitting, put Ligma on the seat back there, as like hand Daniel the clothes and such. And there'll also be a towel with that, just so he can try and clean himself off a little.
Yeah, Daniel will do all of that in the back seat. He notices the cat, but he doesn't try to pet it because he probably has an understanding that animals can sense predators. And if
Ligma sits on your lap.
Oh, that catches Daniel entirely off guard.
She starts to purr.
Yeah, wow. With 0 in Daniel's animal ken, he is very surprised that this cat has willingly sat in his lap.
And she starts to knead and make biscuits like a true chef. There's something about it that's just so far. It feels so much more intelligent than it is just a cat.
Okay.
She seems to like you.
It's an honest first, but am I kidding? Everything within the past few nights has been one surprise after another. And once he actually gets a majority of the clothes on and the blood off, he'll start giving the kitty some scritches on the top of her head.
She continues to make biscuits. And in a way comfort. When you stop, she stretches up high and headbutts you under the chin, purring loud.
What's their name?
Ligma. He kind of gestures to like the little collar.
You really named a cat Ligma, huh?
The cat stops purring when her name is mentioned. And there's deep, unsettled, fuck this shit. But then the biscuits resume and the comforting continues.
I don't think they like that name.
I mean, they could tell me which name they like, I guess. He kind of just like shrugs with one hand, with the other hand still on the wheel.
And so the two of you continue towards Daniel's real estate.
Mm-hmm.
And we meanwhile there. Sigma is impossibly gentle for his personality. And maybe it's the fact that he's a dad. Or maybe it's just his middle-agedness. But without much fanfare, Jihoon, he takes you to the one restroom that is working in Daniel's, turns the shower on. He doesn't remove anything as he washes you and tends to the wound in the back of your neck. Zeta makes another reappearance, this time in Daniel's shirt and a pair of shorts. Deciding that her human presence might not be as comforting, she shifts to a lupine one, and that big boxy head gets nestled and settled into your lap.
Help, Steph, bro. I'm stuck.
The redhead does not intervene. You believe maybe Zeta assisted setting broken hand and joints?
Keep fucking getting stuck.
Even though you know he used soap, you just don't feel clean. And he doesn't wash every part of you, just enough. Most of the dirt. Use a towel. It's just... And when you're mostly cleaned up, he kind of kneels down, like if you were a kid, looking up at your face.
Hey, do you actually want a shower, or... Because I can step out, or I can help you, whatever you need.
Is he sitting?
Mm-hmm. Jihoon is just kind of propped up on a towel on the toilet.
He just kind of... He stands up. Whatever else he was wearing before, he just takes it off. He doesn't make a sound, he doesn't look. And he just steps into the shower. And he just waits. Just stands there.
Jihoon's not really aware of all that Sigma does, but the warm shower that touches his skin feels like needles. And it doesn't get him clean. The shampoo that he hands Jihoon smells rotten. The conditioner, the body soap. Another trigger warning for our audience. Any survivors of any kind of assault, please, listener discretion. Likewise, anyone who may have had thoughts of unaliving or ideation, more trigger warning. Listener discretion is advised. As your hands roam over your slender and smooth flesh, you can feel your hips where it's bruised and you want to vomit. You can feel the divots where his fingers pressed into your thighs and gripped. The worst is when you reach up and you touch behind your throat, just at your hairline and below. Your entire neck is tender and swollen and marked. And when you think whatever little thoughts there are there due to the emotional torrent, there is no connection, fuzzy as it may be at the end. He could read your mind. He could read your mind. He was there, and you could feel him just at the edges, just lingering, just waiting for you to reach out. And now he's not. Now you're alone, in flesh that has been marred, that has been shamed, and these thoughts useless, pathetic, weak, dirty. Your skin goose fleshes, even though the water is warm and someone makes it warmer. Eventually you're standing there for so long that the water shuts off and somebody covers you in a towel, tucking it underneath your arms, wrapping it, covering your chest, your private parts, and then a towel is run through your hair, and you don't really feel it. Someone's speaking to you, but it sounds muffled like cotton. You feel lost, even though you are grounded in your own flesh. You feel spread out, thin. Like heated glass stretched too far. You can't hold everything up. It's just dripping under this hot, evil radiance. This sick appetite. This horrid, dirty feeling. But especially your chest and at your hips. You feel so wrong and gross.
Hey, don't get that fuzzed out look too bad, okay? Can you hear? Hey, can you hear me, kid? I'm right here.
Jihoon turns to look at Sigma. But there's nothing actually looking at him.
Okay, come on.
Just acknowledging the
Don't-
noise.
Don't look like that. Hey,
And he hugs you. He pulls you against his chest and holds you. Like a
Jihoon
father would.
flinches.
fuck. Sorry. I don't really know.
He steps back, palms out.
I'm not gonna hurt you. You look like you could use, I don't know, parent? I know I said we couldn't be friends before, but it's a me problem, and I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that. I shouldn't have been an asshole. I'm sorry, okay? I'd love to be your friend, Jihoon. Don't look like that, okay? I've seen that look way too many times. Please, just don't.
And then in the lyrical language, which you understand now, he says,
Zeta, I need some help. I'm way out of my depth here. I can't, he's got the same look as fucking Alpha, and I can't do that again. I can't watch somebody jump off that cliff.
and Zeta whines back. And you understand that she's comforting him. And she's calming him. And there's this gentleness that goes through the room that you've not really experienced from the wolves, and the mark of the back of your neck tingles and it feels like a violation, even though it's meant for comfort and softness. You don't know what it means, but it's wrong. You aren't sure what it indicates, but it shouldn't be on you. You didn't ask for it. You didn't say yes. You didn't say anything. You should have said no. You said stop, leave me alone, but you didn't. I need you to roll a composure and resolve, Jihoon.
Three successes. One on the hunger die.
You remember the thrill. Sigma tries to guide you out of the bathroom.
Let's just maybe get you something to eat, sitting down, and maybe you could talk to Noah. Yeah, he's your pal. He's everybody's pal. He's great. He's the best guy I've ever met. He's soft and nice, and he'll know what to say. He'll know what to say. Come on.
As Sigma's guiding you out with your composure and resolve, you're stunned out enough, Jihoon, that you remember the excitement that you felt before it happened. And you blame yourself. Maybe if I wasn't such a piece of shit. Maybe if I wasn't so pathetic. Maybe if I didn't feel this way, it wouldn't have happened. The door opens with a soft click and Sigma calls,
Noah, hey, I need your help.
Yeah, of course.
At this point, you've had enough time to shower, change into something that you found. Seems like most of the upper floor is destroyed, but the majority of the lower floor is good, still standing. It's just the south wall that leads out into the backyard is just gone. Upstairs, it's just nothing. Daniel's room gone. Bathroom up there gone. Guest room up there gone. But downstairs, it's here. It's okay. It's not bad. It's terrible, but it'll work. You've seen worse.
Right. He part of what he would have done during that time is he was going to try and see if any of the blood bags were salvageable.
Last time I remember, the blood bags were in a cooler in the shed in the backyard, so if the shed wasn't destroyed, then they might not be untouched.
Yeah, it should be fine, I think. It just sounds like the
No,
second floor was
shed's
fucked.
gone. Shed is
shed's
gone.
gone.
Garage is there.
Cooler gone.
Garage is there. Shed is gone.
Okay, so it's no blood then. Okay.
So go ahead and describe what Noah sees, Jihoon, as Noah comes around the corner.
Jihoon is scratching and pulling at the back of his neck. Just so slowly, so passively, just picking at it like it's a scab. Digging. Just feels wrong. He's tearing apart his skin to try to pull it out. But his face is void of any feeling. It's blank.
You said Sigma took him to the kitchen dining area,
Yeah.
and he's sitting at the table, I guess. Or
It depends on if Jihoon sits.
Wherever Sigma put him.
Okay. Again with the towel that he's got folded up like a pillow. He puts it down, has you sit.
I'm gonna go get a blanket. I mean,
He just shrugs and looks at you helplessly, Noah, and you can see that his face is... He is an ugly crier. Like, he's handsome, but he looks ugly right now. I don't know a better way to describe it. He looks rough. There we go. He looks rough.
handsome, ugly crier. It's fine.
Yeah,
I know
he's-
exactly what it looks like.
Looks rough. Yeah, looks rough. But not as rough as Jihoon. Jihoon is an ocean that is still and placid, lifeless. An abyss that has been wrung out so that there is nothing remaining. An imbalance of no emotion.
He's gonna sit across from him. Hey, I know you probably don't have a lot to say right now, but if you do, I'm here. Yeah, I know that it's gonna suck for a while, but you're gonna be okay. I think I don't know. But you're my friend, Jihoon. Sorry we didn't get there sooner.
He doesn't look at you to acknowledge that you're talking. It's just picking.
From the kitchen doorway, that unknown redhead, arm in a sling, unlit cigarette in the mouth. Impossible green eyes. Like grass held up against the sunlight. Green, so bright.
You should probably not let him pick. All he's gonna do
Right.
is open the wound again.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna talk to him. I'm gonna talk to you. This is the kind of shit I'm sure you're aware of doesn't ever wash away.
And he scratches his neck. And he's not hiding anything. Whoever this stranger is has been exactly where Jihoon is right now.
Don't leave him alone. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, no, of course.
I'm serious.
So am I.
The
And he
name's
gives the look. The I am serious look.
Okay, how do I not it's not this stranger is not handsome like Sigma, okay, or Gamma. They've got a almost like hawkish look about the strong features, right? They're strong. Oh, could probably handsome to the right eye, but it's just their face and their body, they're arranged in a way that's statue-like, but like the sculptor was very generous in the lines of the face.
Right.
Yes. And with all the damage and the swelling, it's the round of the eye is very weird with the incredibly chiseled jaw and the narrow, like kind of straight, but a little bit hockey beak of a nose. And he says his name is D.
or Dell.
He grins at you.
But if you don't watch him, I'm not gonna stop him if he wants to walk into the sun. 'Cause sometimes dying is better than living with the scars.
And he turns and he walks away.
With that being said, Noel actually like move to the seat next to Jihoon instead of across from him. And very, very gently take the hand that Jihoon is picking with. He says, he's right. You shouldn't pick at that. It's just gonna keep opening. And if he has to, he'll just gently rest his hand there to detour from the picking. I will never compare my situation to what you went through. But I have a little bit of experience. If you ever need to talk about it, when you can. I don't expect you to even, honestly, you probably even can't even really hear me now, but
Jihoon pulls his hand away. And kind of turns his body away from you. But it's like he's running out of strength. His movements are so slow, so lethargic.
alright. Well, I'm here. Either way. I'm not going anywhere for a while. And, Hopefully you won't ever have to do anything like that again. I wish there was a cure-all that made it better, faster, but it's just gonna take time. But I'm here. We're all here.
And so the conversation dries up. And the two of you exist in companionable silence for a time. Unless there's anything else either of you would like to describe. I'm going to have Daniel and Evan arrive, even though Daniel's internet may have just died.
No, Daniel.
Is there anything you'd like to describe that Noah might notice?
It's like he's trying to move away. But he's got nothing. He's got no strength left. And you wouldn't see this, but inside of his head, he's just screaming. Just wants to be left alone. Why can't they leave me alone? Don't touch me. Don't bother me. Just go. It's just shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up. Shut up, shut up, shut up. Just shut up. And it's all just bouncing around in your head, in his head. It's your fault. It's your fault. You're pathetic. You're pathetic. He always knew. He told you the truth. He told you were pathetic, and you knew you were pathetic. It's your fault, and it's just bouncing around in his head, but he can't do anything. He is stuck. And there is nothing on his face. He is numb. And yet he feels everything. You are pathetic. You're a coward. You're disgusting. And this is your own fault. But he is an empty shell. There is nothing there, Noah, nothing in his eyes, and his body just sags. His arms drop to his side. And it's like he's falling. And he just lets himself go. He's literally tumbling towards the floor.
At that moment, as he just goes boneless and starts to slip out of the chair, Noah, you shoot forward to catch him, just as Sigma throws the meatiest blanket underneath Jihoon, and he slaps down into it. Sigma goes sliding all the way across the kitchen and like smashes his knee and his face into the cupboard, and it's like, fuck! Ah, damn it! What the hell? And he like straightens. It's Jihoon's. You catch him, Noah.
Yeah. 100%.
The first thing that you notice, Jihoon, is that the blanket smells like wood smoke. and some kind of dark spice. And it reminds you. No, it is. It is that stranger's scent. That cheeky idiot. There's a second set of cloth that hits you from above, like someone's thrown it from the entry of the kitchen. And it's even more scented like gamma. It's a dark hoodie. His. And Dell makes a grunting sound.
Bed's free if you want to go. Lay down. Sometimes sleep is the only way to justify existing with such horrors. So,
He shrugs. And he looks at Sigma. And he looks at Noah. And in the wolf language to Sigma, he says, "Gosh, I'd have to have you roll a wits and awareness to hear this." He says it so quietly.
Okay. That's 2 successes.
He says nothing.
he's gonna make this kid feel better. He's gonna close his eyes, and he's gonna taste it, and he's gonna hear it. But if you don't want him to be gone, you better fucking watch him, all of you. Because I didn't start this. I just showed up when I was asked for help. I didn't ask to be this close to my own fucking bullshit. So someone get this kid somewhere that he can just be alone and fucking cry, okay? And why are there no fucking hot dogs in this house, Sigma? And get out of the kitchen. I'm fucking hungry.
And then he leaves, grumbling.
That's the person in the room who didn't understand any of that. Like, no one just look at Sigma and be like, just move him to the bedroom then? Like, the couch? What should we do? The kitchen's really not the place for him to...
Yeah, I
like-
don't. I was thinking like he needed hot tea or something. I don't know. Jihoon, I'm not gonna talk like you're not here. But I know you're going through it. I don't. I wish. Man, do you want to go lay down? I don't know what to do here. I don't.
He gets up and starts walking away.
Does he take either blanket or hoodie with him? Or does he leave them
Both.
behind? Oh, he takes both. Okay.
Blanket is soft. He's just dragging them though. He doesn't really... He's not holding them close. He's just dragging them behind him.
Zeta comes up to stand by your side as a wolf. She doesn't get in your face or touch you, but it's almost a distant escort. Where do you go?
If there's no one in front of him, or he'll just kind of like stop and pause and then wait for somebody to kind of direct him.
Okay, with that, Sigma
Kind of
would
walk.
nod and like cut his chin towards Noah, like, go.
You first. Go on.
Yeah, Noel will guide him to... I don't know, most comfortable spot in the house that still exists. So, the whatever. There's a downstairs bedroom, right?
Gamma and Jihoon's.
Then yeah, I'll take him there.
Okay. How does Jihoon respond? And then we'll meanwhile hear.
Does he remember? He knows who the person was, right?
Of course.
I think you would hear him suck in this unnecessary breath. And he starts swaying. He pulls the blanket and the sweater closer to him, and he just walks forward and just he crawls into the bed on his side, and his knees are pulled up close, and he's in this fetal position, and he just curls in on himself without a word. And his shoulders start to shake. And he just silently sobs.
Noah would silently close the door. And he'll stand just on the outside.
Sada's in the room with you. As a wolf. Very low to the ground. All paws. Very Tomo. Pale face, big eyes. You know. Scooting a little bit closer, but not quite. Just if you want to grab fur and cry into fur, you can. The fur is there, willing to be furred upon. It's ready.
I think it would bring back a lot of memories of his childhood dog. And he'd probably just hold out one of his arms.
She scoots, kind of scuttles towards you, trying to make her big frame as little as possible. But she's very big. She's a very big girl. Especially compared to Jihoon.
He hugs her like a body pillow. Just his arms around the top. And tucks his head in to her back. Just spooning the dog, but not in a weird way.
Right, yeah, she...
You know?
Yeah. Does what puppers do. You know, when you stop petting, kind of noses you gently. Very, very lupine. And we meanwhile to Daniel and Evan pulling up to your home. The suspense that permeates the air is palpable. And a redhead holding a drawing of a bunny and a Tupperware that says 2 Sigma is sitting on the porch with a lit cigarette in their mouth at the same time that they're eating and just stares up at the both of you.
Evan just kind of waves, not knowing who this person is. Just like, hi.
Your kid's fucked.
He like points a thumb behind his back.
And I mean, emotionally.
You see Evan kind of rub his temples a little. Oh, what do you mean by that?
Like it's a medical report. The redhead describes detached, cool, but does not mince words. Direct to the point.
Jesus. Do you know if someone's with him right now?
Z and your little redhead Noah. Sig's trying, but he sucks. God bless his heart. You're a doctor, right? He nods at Daniel, points with his cigarette.
Daniel is having issues right now.
Oh
again.
no, he's not there. He was there, but then he's gone. We'll,
Yeah.
we'll imagine like Daniel, is like, yeah, I'm a doctor. I'm a paramedic.
Yeah, I feel like they're better suited to handle this than I am.
The redhead shrugs.
You'd be surprised.
Evan kind of gives like a questioning look, like through his body language, kind of saying like, "Wait, you want me to go deal with this?"
He shrugs again.
I don't know. Isn't he all yours? He's your kid, right? Your little vampire. He's young. He doesn't know what's up and what's down in this fucked up world of ours. And pardon my
Yeah, but-
frankness, but I don't think Noah's that much forward thinking in terms of all of you.
And he motions at you, like kind of like you're a disease. It's a little dismissive.
No offense. Rough night.
Well, I guess that means you want to babysit him. He kind of motions with his head back towards the car.
Fuck no. But I will if I have to.
And he's gonna come off the porch, set the empty Tupperware down that was Sigma's leftover dinner from Jihoon, and go up to your car door.
This unlocked.
Mm-hmm.
He opens it and he takes Malcolm's coffee drink, starts drinking it.
There's a pup cup in there too, if
Takes
you want
that
that.
as well.
I'll pretend I'm not offended.
But yeah, he tears it up.
When Evan sees him eat the pup cup, he kind of smiles a little bit. I guess I'll go check on them, and then probably be right back up though. So
Redhead just shrugs, crinkles up the pup cup, walks over to the chipped over trash can, writes it, throws it away. Slams the frozen frappe.
is there any sign of like a brain freeze or anything like that? Slamming it?
No, not at all. This guy seems orally talented.
I see what you did there.
I'm trying to break up the tension, okay? I'm trying to break up the tension. That's all.
I guess Evan would go down with Daniel to try and find where they are.
Okay, it's not hard. I mean, standing outside the door looking incredibly worried is
But
Sigma.
Is it?
What? Are you?
Nothing.
Oh, are you also breaking up the tension right now?
Maybe a little.
Oh Lord. You know what would break up
Yeah,
the
no-
tension, chat? Let's think about what Quinn and Beta are doing right now.
That
Let's-
just creates a whole different kind of tension.
yeah, but
Hey,
let's
hey, leave our privacy.
wait. Let's
The
just
lights are off.
Kappa just sleeping in the room.
I hope so. Hope so. It wasn't that high a wits and awareness roll.
Wow. Whew. All right. I feel like the tension is sufficiently. Whew. Okay. All right. Back in scene.
Noah's also standing right outside the door.
Okay. So the two of you are standing.
He's very tense looking. Like, fists clenched, like he wants to murderize someone. He's very mad right now.
You'd see Evan approach, kind of apprehensive with Daniel.
Hey,
Is there anything we can do, or specifically I can do?
I don't know. He's in the room crying. Probably the best thing for him right now. I don't know. I mean, yes. I mean, probably, yes. I mean, Zeta's in there with him, so he's not alone. But I don't think there's a lot we can do for him in this very moment. More than we've already done. To be honest.
Mhm. I guess Daniel can go tend to his wounds some.
I don't think it's wise to do it right now. He doesn't really want to be touched, if you catch my drift.
You'd see Evan kind of like grind his teeth with that. So it'd probably be best to just let him process.
Yeah.
All right.
Believe you me, I would love to do something. I don't think there's anything to be done right now except for be here. If he does decide he needs something. But I think right now, the wolf in there is probably the best comfort he can have, so he can just cry it out.
Okay. I'm gonna go back up then. I left the redheaded dude with Malcolm.
He said his name was Dell.
You see Evan kind of get like a little confused look.
Yeah.
Ha-
I don't know.
Have you heard from her tonight?
No.
Mm-hmm. I guess I'll try calling her in a minute. Yeah, I guess I'll do that. Let me know if anything changes.
Yeah. Of course.
So you step away, Evan.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you go to make your call? You head back outside? Do you call on the way outside? Head to the kitchen? Any of the downstairs that's not destroyed? The living room?
No, he would head back outside. He doesn't want to leave Malcolm alone with somebody he doesn't really know.
Okay, what's an awareness?
With
Oh,
the
no.
strange redhead outside.
He is not connecting the dots yet. Ooh, that is a 6.
A 6?
Mm-hmm.
Damn, that is exactly what you needed to hear Dell's phone go off, and then it's silenced, and you get dumped into voicemail.
Huh. Would he know what direction it is, or just like have barely heard it?
Barely heard it. On your way headed outside.
He would give it like 30 seconds, then call back again.
You're like really listening. You don't hear anything this time, and it does dump into voicemail again.
He'd sigh looking at the phone, slide it back, or send a text message, slide it back into his pocket, and then go back out to where Malcolm is.
Okay. Redhead is perched on the railing of the porch, still smoking, still eating. Arm is out of sling now, has eaten enough. And when he does not turn, but when the screen door opens, he says over his shoulder at you, or whoever's coming out, in this case, Evan.
You're almost out of food. Sorry, I was kind of hungry. How's your kid?
Oh, he's still downstairs.
You got a bit before the sun rises. Figure I'll stick around. I'll maybe talk to him if he wants to before I leave.
He shrugs.
What do you even do for somebody in a situation like that? Evan would kind of like go up and try and lean against one or the other side of the railing, or like something that's not destroyed out there.
In terms of actually doing anything, nothing. There's not a damn thing you can do. Just be there. Find them someone who's been through it. Let them know it doesn't matter how strong, how fast, how smart. Doesn't matter how privileged you are. When evil people set about the intent of villainy, and you lead life trying to do as little harm as possible, sometimes it just doesn't fucking matter. Sometimes evil just fucking wins. But if you don't die, then I guess you have a choice.
Evan kind of chuckles at the "if you don't die."
You know what I mean? Even Kindred hit final death.
He raises a brow at you.
God, are you always this cheeky and punny?
No, it's kind of ironic. I feel more alive now than I ever did back then.
Yeah, it's the drugs in your veins, the ghosts in your blood.
I like that one anime.
He just exhales and the smoke is sharp.
Sure, if you like that kind of thing. What are you gonna do now?
I guess just wait. Get him out of the vehicle into a safe place. Like you said, just try and be here. Also, what brought you here?
Request for aid. I'm the aid. Ta-da.
Yeah, this is just a fucked up situation. You'd kind of see Evan rubbing like just above his nose between his eyes.
At about that point is when Sigma opens the door and says, "Hey, I gotta talk to you." And Danny and Noah. So, why don't you come back inside? Or we could talk out here, I guess. Since Zeta's got him covered, I just...
Yeah, let me just grab Malcolm out of the car.
Okay. You go, unbuckle him, lift him, carry him back into the home that's partially destroyed, and the rest of the coterie meets you in the living room, and you're all standing there, and Sigma clears his throat, and he says, "I know you guys don't know what this means, but, fuck, I am the worst person to be explaining this to you.
Just be forward. It's fine. Doesn't have to be pretty. Just lay it out. It's okay.
When he looks at you, Noah, and your gazes collide, there's so much more under his. Shadows lying in wait, a truth wanting to be laid bare. And even as he speaks the truth about this situation, there's so much more that it means. And maybe there's so much more that he's... It's hard to say if he wants to be honest or not.
So the leader of the whole fucking pack has marked Ji-hoon as his own, and there's not a whole lot any of us can do about it. In fact, by law, we're supposed to take Ji-hoon back to Magnus and apologize for taking his mate. It's fucked up, and it's wrong, and
Yeah, that is fucked up.
it also means that if any other wolf touches him in any kind of... If there's any kind of, you know...
And he makes a crude gesture with his fingers.
There's any, you know... And
Right. Yes.
by law, we're supposed to... Well, it's just a lot of bad. It's a lot of killing. It's very violent. We're supposed to turn him in, kill, defend.
You could just get fucking
Okay.
away with that.
There's
Is
no-
there any, like, legal way to change it?
He looks at the three of you kind of helpless.
I mean,
Because that's fucked. Ji-hoon points at the house. Didn't ask for that.
I know he fucking didn't ask for it. I just, there's nothing...
I know. I'm not mad at you. I'm not mad at you.
There's nothing any of us can do. It's not fair. It's not fair, but this is our pack's litany, and it's different for all of us, right? Every pack's got its own shit, right? And this is just the way it is with us, and there's no going back. I mean, especially after that fucking run, it's a catch-20 fucking two, right? Gamma can't act outside of the pack now. He's a part of it again. I mean, no, he's not Forsaken anymore. He's not a Bane. He's fucking Blackthorn again. My hands are tied. Literally, I am gonna be compelled. All of us are gonna be compelled. The only one that might be able to resist and compel, because they're a freak of fucking nature, is Omega, and I don't see him anywhere.
Okay, so there's no, like, fine print saying that if it's not consensual...
If we killed my dad, okay, if one of us killed him and became a pack leader, But I can't take my daughter's granddad. I can't do it. No,
I'm not asking you to do that.
Is that
I'm
the
not
only way
asking-
to replace him?
yeah. Yeah, there's look, you gotta understand, when he removed me, I was supposed to die, right? When I was the alpha, I was supposed to die, but my dad, he took the price. He took the price for me, and I'm breaking so many laws telling you this right now, and I could technically be killed for it and beaten and all sorts of bullshit, but I'm kind of tired of keeping it to myself. The other Garu in the valley, look, they wanted me dead because of the things that I did, right? And they called for my head, and they called for me to be removed as the pack leader of our pack. And my dad, he stepped in and he gave a piece of himself. He's not all right upstairs, okay? He's not all right. He's not who who used to be. He was never a great dad to me, okay? I'm a mama's boy through and through, all right? I'm little Billy to my mama. My mama is everything to me, okay? My ma, he did right by her. Right? She's got a retirement because of him. And my baby, she gets to go to a good school because of him, you know? You gotta understand, I fucked up. I spent all her money, okay? And it's not right, but I can't. None of us are gonna be able to do that. I mean, maybe Gamma, but you can't ask Gamma to kill his dad. You can't fucking do that. You can't kill your own dad.
If he was able to pay the price for you, does that mean there is a way?
I mean, sure, but who's gonna... He leans forward. The price that he paid. You don't want to pay it. You can't pay it as a kindred. You ain't got one anymore.
Noah frowns deeply.
I mean, unless by some fucking miracle. Unless by some fucking miracle, you... Look, this is asinine. I shouldn't even be talking about this. It's all... And he kind of starts to have a panic attack and start pacing.
Evan would kind of reach out and like grab his shoulder and like look him in the eye. It's like, no, just, we're here. Can you explain?
Roll a charisma and either leadership or persuasion. Your choice.
Would I get to add the bonus of persuasion?
What's your specialty?
Negotiation.
Yeah. Yeah, you can add your
Okay.
extra dice bonus.
Do you want that in roll 20 or am I okay with regular dice?
You're okay with regular dice.
Okay. That is 10.
Wow. Crazy good. And what is Evan trying to coax out of him? I know he's trying to calm him down, which it will be successful.
He's trying to be steady, be like the rock right now, and that we are here to help them and find a way to do this without having to make his dad pay the ultimate price.
A little helplessly, but he looks at all three of you. And his emotions, he can't hide them.
You said I was a good dad, and I'm gonna try really fucking hard to do that, okay? Because I know my dad seems fucked up, I really do. I know he's a bad guy. But my little girl, she loves her papa, and my dad, he gave part of his soul, his sanity, and he didn't just do it once. You ask why we follow him so much, we haven't just run away from his fucking tyranny. It's because we know the price he paid. I owe a lot of people a lot of. I've done a lot of bad shit, okay? And the only reason I'm not dead is because of my dad.
He did what any father would do in that position, given that that was the last choice he had.
Why do you
And
think
you are a good dad. Don't even let that get in your mind.
you just gotta understand that even O not being dead is because of my dad. It's because of our dad.
Oh,
Why do you think he's just locked up and not just fucking executed?
Is there... I mean... I don't know anything about your guys' world other than what little I've learned the past, like, week. Is there any way to, like... reverse what's been done to him?
I don't know. I don't know. If anybody knew, it would be Kappa or Beta. I don't know.
I'm gonna give him a hug.
He folds, he crumples into you, and he clings to your shirt.
I just want Jihoon to be okay.
Yeah. Me too.
And I don't know what to do. No, I don't know what to do.
You're doing your best.
It's not enough. It's never been enough.
Sometimes our best isn't enough. But all anyone can ever ask us to do is our best. And our best looks different on different days. And I think you've done great tonight. All things considered, I mean... Yeah.
He clings to you, and he cries. And through his tears, he tries to speak more. You get a garbled mess, all three of you. Something about how he can't even help his little brother, and you imagine he's talking about Gamma.
He's just gonna hug him and let him cry. Because sometimes once that gate's open, you just have to let it empty.
He is an ugly crier. But God, the pain, the hollow rasp.
Evan would try to find some towels from the strategic linen closet.
Okay.
Noah definitely gets teary, but he's trying really hard to keep it together for Sigma. Just in general, he's trying really hard just to be... He's trying to be the rock tonight. Even though internally he is a whirlwind of emotions right now. But he knows the one thing he can do right now is be a rock. Even if right now it's just for Sigma to cry it out.
Okay. Anything else? Evan, you return. You've got the towels. Sigma uses them to mop up his face. Anything for Daniel?
I think that, is it safe to assume with the amount of turmoil would Daniel fall into his compulsion?
Probably. And he also, I think, would instinctually know the best thing for Sigma in this moment is probably just Noah holding him and him just crying and letting it out. It seemed to really impress upon him when Evan called him a good dad. So the comfort that you might be able to offer him could be in some words of affirmation when he's finally calm.
But there is more than one source of pain in the area, is there not?
The other source of pain is behind a door, and so it isn't as prevalent for your compulsion because it would count as a different scene. If you're speaking about Jihoon.
Yeah, I was gonna attempt to do a scene with Jihoon, and then my internet shouted out. That was what I was planning to do earlier. But we don't have that much time, fortunately. um... I don't know if I have anything, sorry.
No worries, hold on. Answering the whisper. If you want to, meanwhile, we can meanwhile here, and Evan and Noah we can shift from them over to Daniel potentially trying to have a conversation with Jihoon if he would like.
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay. Brutal pain filters through the closed door. Sigma's tears are a pain that is heavy, and I would describe it as a brutal one. But this kind of cry, this howl coming from the other side of the door, it's primal. It's lost. It's a scratching of glass and nails on a chalkboard. Teeth being broken and bleeding. It's a helpless creature stuck in a trap.
Is the door locked?
I don't think so, but would Jihoon have locked the door?
No, he just walked in.
Okay. So
Noah was the one that closed it and he didn't lock it.
Okay. It's not locked.
Okay. If that's the case, then I'm going to slowly open the door, but I'm also going to make my presence known by slowly or lightly knocking as I do open it.
I don't think Jihoon responds. But I will let Sly be the determiner of that.
He doesn't acknowledge the door. But I did send a DM and I just said that he probably pulls Zeta closer to him. As if he's trying to hide behind her. But it's not like a big, like, pulling. It's so subtle.
Zeta's big boxy face comes into view, Daniel, and she's looking at you with cool blue eyes.
When Zeta looks at him, she can feel the pain behind Daniel's eyes when he looks at Jihoon. In his compulsion, the pain he senses is almost overwhelming. It's hard for him to hide the turmoil on the inside, the guilt, the rage. of what he now has been told and what he sees before him. But this isn't about him, even if he did failed. Kind of shutting the door behind him as he steps in, he kind of takes a seat in front of Zeta and Jihoon. He can't help but feel that with pain like this, there's only really so much you can say. Let me look at something real fast on my sheet. And I have a question for you, DM. After what Jihoon experienced at the hands of Magnus, did he by chance take any points of willpower damage?
It's hard to say. Probably.
Is that something? Is
That-
that something I can determine with a insight check of some sort?
You can try. Go ahead and roll it on roll 20.
Send you another
Um,
message, Dolly, just in case.
Okay.
And since I'm acting in accordance with my compulsion, I think Daniel would blood surge in this instance if you allow it. Or his blood would just automatically rouse itself in response to this compulsion. So do you need me to make a rouse check on that?
Yep.
Okay, and you said wits and insight or intelligence and insight?
Wits and insight.
That's a total of 7.
You get this feeling that yes, he sustained willpower damage, and it would be difficult not to. He may even suffer some stains because of it that inflict his humanity depending on some of his choices in the near future. However,
Okay.
you roll high enough that you know that you get the feeling that Zeta does not want you to use your compulsion in this moment. She has shifted, so she's partially standing over him, very protectively. With 7, you know that the Garu, they're structured differently. Pain is viewed differently. It's subject and nuanced. In some cases, an honor. With 7, for Zeta specifically, experiences and suffering hold meaning. And the bad things that happen are not for nothing. The trauma was not for nothing.
That may be so. However, the way Zeta looks at Daniel as their gazes meet, as he begins to understand, she doesn't even have to roll any kind of insight. The guilt and failure that he feels in not protecting Ji-hoon and not helping him understand the dangers of the world that he now resides in against his own will have struck at the very cores that keep his humanity intact, what's left of it anyway. And when it comes to family, pain should never be suffered alone. And with that, I would like to activate Auspex and use Panacea. And I will put the description of that power in the Roll20.
So as you move forward to...
He does not have to move forward, he can do it from where he's sitting.
As you move forward to use your power, it is called the Healing Touch for a reason in older editions. And if you remember in Salem how I made Viola use this power, Zeta shifts, ears flicking back, but she doesn't growl. It is clear that she's uncomfortable.
Leave me alone. Just leave me alone. Can't I just be left alone? Leave me alone. Just leave me alone. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Leave. Please leave. Just leave me alone. Leave me alone, please. Just leave me.
In your mind, Daniel, you hear Zeta's voice. You could continue to push the issue. You could use Panacea, Healing Touch. You could soothe and take away all of this. But Zeta actively says, let it be his choice when he releases the pain. Let it not be for nothing. He thinks that he is weak. He spoke into my mane. He thinks that he is pathetic. Let him prove himself strong.
Okay.
It is incredibly difficult to resist your compulsion. You must roll a composure and resolve to do so.
And I do so at a -2 dice penalty because I am acting in direct defiance of my compulsion.
Correct.
Am I allowed to use willpowers before I make this roll?
Yep.
And my blood surge is still active, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so -2 from tier and blood surge. That means the pool size modifier is only 1 in total. You know what? I'll trust the 5 in total.
Against your own compulsion of 5 is what you needed. And it does come at a cost. It is almost unbearable. And you suffer a willpower damage for it.
Okay. Daniel has to almost shove himself out of the bathroom as the eye of Salat on his forehead bleeds across his shirt and onto the floor. He almost instinctively almost slams the door on his way out, but he somehow manages to shut it.
In your
And
mind,
as he
as the door's closing, you hear Zeta, thank you. Thank you for trusting him.
doesn't return any words as he steps away from the rubble of his house into the backyard, into the woods. The pain, the fury, and having to act in direct defiance of what he is. His fury just erupts in a roar that is filled with pain and regret. And in his rage, his claws dig into the nearest tree, ripping it to splinters, as he can hear the beast inside cackling and laughing at his failure, at his attempts to remain human after so long.
You'll take another superficial willpower damage.
By the time he's done, and by the time the rage has left him and all that is left is pain. And as the claws recede, the fangs retract, all he can do is just lie there in the grass, staring up at the stars, asking the same question to himself again and again and again and again, and yet never finding any answer. Wondering if he can even really keep them safe. Wondering if he's strong enough to do so. Wondering if by the end of all of this, how much more pain will he be able to endure before he loses himself in the process to keep others safe. In this moment, Daniel has never felt more weak. For all his fight, all his defiance, all of his grit in life and in death, pain never leaves. It never recedes. It hurts so fucking bad.
And so, several hours pass in this strung out, tension filled, emotional play. Quinn, you experience a reconnection that leaves you breathless, a little bruised and aching, but in a good way. As the two of you shower together, you mark every new scar on Beta's tattooed body. There are tears at this reunion, because even unspoken, your wolf queen is riddled with a suppressive tension, a crushing responsibility that she is desperately unable to hide from you. And your own anxieties and your own failings feel like you'll never measure up, but the way that she looks at you, you still wonder if you even deserve. And when your clothes are back on and you're clean and smelling sterile like the hospital soap. There's a silence between the two of you, and you're not sure that she's going to reach for your hand. There's a moment that she moves forward to open the door, and you don't think she's going to reach back for you. And the fear is overwhelming. What do you do?
I think it's a lot to deal with. I don't think she's all healed or knows, and I think she just kind of like curls up on a hospital chair, kind of next to where Kappa is. That same situation of just sitting next to a hospital bed, and she just is watching Beta to see what she does. If she leaves, then yeah, she's gonna probably leave. That's okay.
She moves around the room. She does open the exit door and peer up and down the hallway. And then she closes and locks it, and she's inside. And she moves towards you. And she surprises you. She kisses the top of your head, pulls you into a little squeeze, and then sits on the opposite side of Kappa for a moment. Brushes some of his silver locks out of his face. He's got a fever.
He went through a lot. He confronted Magnus. He was already sick. He got thrown. We saw a vision. We saw a vision too. He said he's still sick and he can't control it. So he's been through a lot.
Yeah, he has. Quinn, And she gets up, lifts her stool, brings it over to set next to your chair, sits by you. Thank you for taking care of Kappa, especially.
And he helped me when you were here, and I was first here, and I didn't know how anything worked, and everything was different, and then other stuff happened, and he helped me so I could be by your side. Of course I'll help him.
She just pulls your chair right next to hers, puts an arm around your waist, nuzzles into your throat, your hair. Thank you. The biggest compliment you could ever pay me is taking care of those that I love, and that includes yourself. And she nibbles on your ear.
Sensitive. Yeah.
Roll a wits and insight.
Whoa. Oh. 6 at a critical.
Nice.
Yeah.
The secrets behind her ocean eyes are vast and unyielding. There is much she wishes to tell you. There's much she wants to ask you. But in this quiet moment, as the sun airs ever closer to the horizon, she just tucks you against her side as close as she can with a chair blocking her, and holds you, watching over Kappa, a quiet, powerful sentinel. Is there anything else for Quinn?
I think she sits there with Veda, and keeps an eye on Kappa with her. But I think she just whispers at one point. She just looks up to Beta. She goes, "No matter what, don't leave me again, okay?"
As long as my lungs draw air, I vow. And she speaks in that lyrical language. And you understand her. Granted, your mark is on your inner thigh. Because she split her time between two very sensitive places. And her vow is thus. So long as there is a north wind and a moon for me to howl to, my lady, as your knight, I will return from every war and ever yonder. Whether mine legs carry me hither or hither, always shall my honor bring me home. Always will my shield and blade take rest at your bedside. And then
That's very fancy, thank you.
in English, she says, I promise.
Yes, I like that. That fancy part was very good, but I like that. I like that end part. Also then I will also, be here. And not anywhere else.
She
I'm supposed to find purpose.
pulls you under her lap. You promise.
Yeah. I think maybe you're my purpose, or you're a part of my purpose, and that's important, because I need one.
You're a part of my purpose, too.
Like that.
She tucks some of your
I
curled
love-
hair. She pulls you into a very gentle kiss. And I think we'll meanwhile there to the final scene. Just before the sun rises. Each of you find shelter somewhere in Daniel's room. The majority of those hours, Noah, there never really was a good time to bring up anything else with Sigma. I mean, the guy cried himself ragged and
He wouldn't have tried. He would have just been there for him.
but he doesn't let go of you either. Even when he's done crying. Even when you both know that maybe you shouldn't. He holds you. And before I describe this last piece, he does offer you a choice, Noah.
Let me come lay down with you. I won't if you tell me not to. I just really don't want to be alone. And I mean, I know the sun's coming up and you're gonna fall asleep, and
And he cups your face.
I really don't want to be alone. Can I just be with you?
And his eyes drop to your mouth.
I mean, even if it's the last time. I mean, if you say no, it's okay too.
You can stay.
Are you sure?
And he inches closer.
Yeah.
And he kisses you. And oh, does he kiss you? How far do you let it go, Noah? Because he will not stop unless you stop him.
Fuck. I think he stops him before they get too far, but he doesn't push him away. He'll keep him there and he'll hold him and he'll kiss him. He's trying really hard to
Okay.
resist fully giving in.
Roll a composure and resolve.
Roll 20 says 2.
2 is not enough.
Okay. I thought it might not be.
You do push him away. You do. You, God, you do. And then he does the thing where he takes your hands and he intertwines them with his, and you've done this dance so many times, and he's so good at. And you're so sad, but you close your eyes and you. God, before you know it, the both of you are unclothed and you pull away. You leap up out of bed. And he is in the rumpled sheets, looking at you in panic. Your hair is a mess. Your skin is hot. You can smell the both of you. And all you can think of is Kappa's voice. I'm just a nobody. I'm Steve Rogers before his special juice. His tiny body shuffling, going up against a force of nature. I just gotta save Jihoon. Then you deflate, Noah, and you just can't. You grab your pants and your shirt and you're gone. And you hear Sigma start to cry, and it breaks your heart. And there's nowhere to go because the sun is coming up. And you find yourself down in the basement again, and you scream.
Yeah, that's accurate.
Jihoon. It is less than an hour before the sun rises. And Zeta, without telling you with words, she tells you that she needs to go be with Daniel. And that someone is going to take her shift who is just as fluffy, if not more so. And she gives you some puppy kisses and headbutts you a little bit. It's kind of awkward because dog. But you get this impression so succinctly. She's asking your permission to go to get food, to take care of her wounds, which she has cleaned, but they haven't healed.
He lets her go.
Okay. She does need you to open the door as she stays in lupus form. So she walks up to it and paws at it.
He gets up and opens the door for Zeta.
Standing there is the redhead. Eyes blazing. But you don't really feel a threat. You don't think he's going to touch you. Don't even actually think he's going to try to hug you or comfort you really in any way. Zeta brushes up against him and then she goes to find Daniel.
Leaving the door open, Jihoon just turns back around and... Is there a window?
There is not a window in this room.
Okay. Good to know.
There is a window at the end of the hallway, just outside this room, but not in this room. This room does have a bathroom attached to it, though.
I'll just go back to the bed. Roll back up and just... He whispers into the void, I'm sorry.
The door closes.
Just crawls back.
And you hear the shuffling of someone moving around for a second. And you hear the rasp of a lighter, and then there's a incense smell.
Can I tell you something? before I take my shift.
He turns his head to look.
Can you manage a thumbs up for yes and a thumbs down for no?
He turns his full body over, that he's facing him.
I'll take that as a yes. Blink at me if it's a yes. Twice.
He blinks twice.
The redhead takes a deep and shuddering breath.
There is nothing that is gonna make this go away. There is nothing that's gonna make it feel better. Some shadows in your life are just too dark and too long. The only thing that ever made me feel any kind of better was knowing I wasn't alone. And that it wasn't for nothing. And you want to know who told me that?
And he turns away from you because you feel he can't bear the feeling of your gaze as he admits this without admitting it.
G told me that. You want to know why he goes to therapy? You should ask him. As for me, fuck therapy. I don't give a shit. I don't want to talk to anybody about it. Nothing I say changes anything. It doesn't make me faster or stronger or better, and it doesn't matter that I'm strong. It doesn't matter that I'm fast. It doesn't matter that I'm smart. None of that matters. Bad shit happens. The only thing that matters, and I'm only going to tell you this once, kid. The only thing that matters is that you're not fucking alone.
And he shifts and drops into a fox right out of his clothes. And after a minute of arranging himself, he'll come over to you. But he's more like a cat than a dog. In the room, offering you company. But could you please tell the audience maybe what Jihoon's thinking, what he's feeling, what he does?
He's sitting there thinking about those words because he just doesn't even know what to think. What's the point? What even happened? Maybe he's right, nothing's gonna change. But everything did change. Everything has changed. And it's his fault. It's his fault.
As you start that line of thinking, the fox hops up onto your bed and literally punches you in the face with a paw. And it is very uncomfortable. How does Jihoon respond?
He scrunches up his nose a little bit. And it's kind of the first expression on his face. Instead of that numb, empty, dull face. Scrunches his nose and tries to, like, blink away the paw. And he just pulls Gamma's sweater over his head, tucks the blanket up under his chin, just closes his eyes, just whispers into the blanket, "I'm sorry. Sorry."
And that's where we're going to end tonight. Thank you for joining us on this very emotional chapter of Bound by Night. Again, for this entire chronicle, viewer or listener discretion is advised. Heavy themes, due to the nature of this type of story and tabletop RPG. Heavy themes are, in often cases, present and prevalent. But my coterie and my viewers, our viewers, since they're all here watching the story we're putting together, there is always hope. You are never really alone. It may feel as though you are alone, facing down numerous nightmares, things that hunt the very goodness in this world. But there is help. There are hotlines in place. There are websites that you can visit. And you're always more than welcome to hop into the void. Join our community. Everybody carries some kind of pain. And it is all of our responsibilities to come together and to help each other. And I don't think it's stated better than when Matt Mercer says, don't forget to love each other. I'm Void Doll, your host, your storyteller, your dungeon mistress. It's been an honor.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us this evening. It was definitely an emotional night. Please know that all the conversations that happened tonight were of the consensual nature, and Void Doll, being the incredible individual they are, spoke to all of us about the situation and checked in with us on a regular basis. And remember, if you need someone or anybody to talk to, check out hopefortheday.org or call the hotline. Because just like Dell told Jihoon, you're not alone.